Today's project, I'm working on this Eastlake dry sink. I picked this up at an estate sale and it's in somewhat okay condition. I mean, it's an older piece, it's 150 years old, so I definitely don't expect perfection. It does have this broken leg, but fortunately, it's a very easy fix. Starting off with my usual prep work, which is I am thoroughly cleaning the piece. I'm using simple green cleaner mixed with some water and just an old rag. Where the original screw went in the leg, there was a giant gaping hole, which I'm assuming a piece of wood broke off at one time. So I'm using this quick wood epoxy. This dries extremely hard and it's going to be perfect to fill this hole. I am cutting off a piece of the log and then I am mixing that really well until the colors are unified. And then I'm going to press the quick wood epoxy into that hole as far as I can get it in there. And then I will let that harden and cure overnight before I move on to my next step. Once my quick wood epoxy is dry, I can go ahead and put my leg back on and screw my screws into the holes and directly into that quick wood epoxy. There was quite a few paint splatters all over the piece, so I tried taking a flathead screwdriver just to try and remove and scrape off the larger splatters. Using my very favorite wood glue, Gorilla brand, I glued back on these little wooden appliques and I tacked the nails back into place as well. I wet sanded the top just to scuff up the surface a bit to prep it for paint. I used a mister bottle, sprayed it lightly with some water and then an 80 grit sandpaper and scuff sanded everything. And then of course I gave it another good cleaning. I applied 2 coats of this Waverly chalk paint in the color called Cashew just to the top surface. While the paint on top was drying, I went over all of the imperfections with some Waverly brown antiquing wax to hide and disguise a lot of the scuff marks and the scratches that were on the surface of the piece. I really wanted to keep as much of the original character and charm of this 150-year-old Eastlake piece. Once I apply my wax, I then wipe it off, and it really does a great job at disguising all of those blemishes. The paint on the top was dry. I added some decoupage paper and I used a 1-coat polyurethane as my decoupage adhesive. I applied it with a brush and I worked in sections. I also like to mist my paper while I'm working with it, as well as use some type of plastic like saran wrap or sandwich bag or something like that to rub over top of the paper to help smooth out any wrinkles. Once the decoupage medium underneath the paper is completely dry, I'm using that same 1-coat polyurethane and I'm applying 2 coats to the top of the paper to create a durable surface, as well as I lightly sand off any excess paper off of the edges. I added brown antiquing wax to the top surface to help age the paper as well as tie everything together. Let's have a quick look at the before we check out the final reveal. So happy to be able to fix and refresh this antique piece of furniture. It's a beautiful piece with great bones, and it really deserved a second chance on life. I hope you all like my video today and my flip, and I hope you all subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye.